Welcome back to the channel. I'm doing a collection tour update video. It's been several months since I did my last collection video, really my first collection video. So I figured it was about time to do a little bit of an update on this one. Nothing new, or nothing too much new in the collection. A few pieces that have been added into the collection. Kind of just also wanted to get some channel updates and just discuss like some figures and figure news and that kind of stuff without actually making videos. It's been pretty busy lately, so I haven't had much time to make as many videos as I'd like to, but you know, I figured it's kind of nice to do this from time to time, sort of unscripted and just talking a little bit about some stuff. I always love this lineup, these four right here. I love this side of the shelf. You're gonna notice some dust here. It's been a while since I dusted, so forgive me, but you know, it's the nature of collecting. This Mechagodzilla here I've had since last Christmas, but I only just got a proper stand. I actually got off of Amazon, and it took a lot of maneuvering, but I finally got it into a good position, and I added him here on the shelf maybe 4 or 5 months ago, and I think he looks really good here. Just love this. This is by Marasan. I don't know what year this figure is, but it's a great little piece that was a Christmas gift for me this past Christmas, and it's a great sculpt. I just love the look of Flying Mechagodzilla, so I knew I wanted to get my hands on this. So I'm happy that I was able to get it, or be gifted it. Shin Deferils. I had the fourth form Shin here for the longest time, but I decided to actually take it back to my apartment. Just love that figure so much, so I wanted to keep that one where I spend most of my time. These guys are so cool. So Fubi Toys. Up here is actually the newest and one of my bigger additions to my collection. Of course, I already did my review on this figure. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Obviously, this is the X Plus Gigantic Deferil series Shin Godzilla. This is the standard version. As you can see, I'm not using the tail stand for this figure. Not really a fan of it. Normally, I don't care about tail stands, but for this particular figure, it's just really obnoxious, I think, and just so apparent. Kind of unfortunate, but I think it should be fine without it, honestly. It's not in any sort of direct sunlight or anything that will cause it to warp faster than it should. I don't even really think it will warp at all, but yeah, this is a fantastic figure. I really wanted to keep it up top on a higher shelf because I think this figure has a great presence, kind of looking up at it at an angle, especially with the head pose and the hand pose. I think it just really benefits from that. You'll notice that I really put him very sideways compared to, you know, these figures. I mean, everything's sort of at an angle because of these tail lengths. If anything, the GMK tail is like looped into his tail. I don't even know if you could see it, but yeah. There's definitely more space now up here. In my last video, I had a Battle for Earth 30 centimeter Godzilla in this one's place, but I decided to you know, I wanted to display him, so I rotated him out of the display. I think I also had a 25 centimeter Godzilla 64 here as well. I could be misremembering. There's so much packed away, but yeah, this is a great one. This is a really great figure. If you like Shin and you like X Plus and you don't mind stylized stuff, this is a great figure for sure. Now, of course, leading up to the release of this figure, I was doing, I did a retrospective on the original Deferil Shin, and I wanted to do a series of videos kind of looking back at all the X Plus releases of Shin Godzilla, all versions, in anticipation for this figure's release and eventually the re-release of the Gigantic Shin. I'm still working on that, actually. I think this is the next one that I've already been working on, but then, you know, with figure news and other stuff that comes out, these sort of videos kind of fall back and the other ones take precedence or priority, I guess you could say. So this will be its own, and at some point I want to do this figure. Personally, I do think that this one is the better version of this one. These are both great figures, but you know, I'll save my full thoughts for my reviews when I get to them. But as you can see, the tail on this one is not attached because I don't think it can fit. This is how I had it when I had the other stuff here before he came here. So honestly, I don't know if he would fit with the tail. That's away in storage right now. But this one, I really wanted to be able to display with the tail. This is such an underrated figure. I feel like not a lot of people talk about it. I think Frozen Shin's look in general is just, I don't know, it's really haunting. I think that's the best way to describe it. You're probably gonna hear these same thoughts at some point when this video, well, this review for this figure gets released, whenever that will be. But, you know, trust me, if you're interested, keep an eye out for those videos over the next several months, because we still have some time to go before the release of the gigantic Shin Godzilla, which I really can't wait to get my hands on as well. Actually, this display over here, it's probably going to be totally wiped out to make way for the gigantic Shin, which is a little bit disappointing to me. As much as I don't mind rotating out stuff, usually it's a couple of pieces at a time, not entire shelves. Here's my newest release. At the time of this recording, I got them 2 days ago, I think. This is a great figure. You know, every time I get a new Death-for-Real, I'm just like, wow, that's right. This is why I love Death-for-Reals. This Jet Jaguar is awesome. And every new Jet Jaguar that I get just makes me fall in love with the character's design more and more. I think part of the reason why is because the colors on this figure and just the character are just so bright. Kind of reminds me of a children's toy in a way every time I see a version of this character. It's just really like welcoming, kind of cartoony and inviting. Has really, I don't know, just really nice appeal to it. I'll probably be working on a review on this figure at some point. I don't know, we'll see. I know I'm pretty late to the game with this one. It was delayed. There's been a lot of delays in shipments coming from Japan. So I know people have already had this figure for at least a month. But you know, better late than never, I guess. We'll see what winds up happening. I do have a Passion Tank Shin Godzilla review that I'll be working on first, I think. I just got that recently. It's not here in this collection, it's actually back in my apartment. But yeah, we'll see what happens with this figure. But expect to see pictures on my Instagram of this guy for sure. He's really fun to shoot and edit with, so I'm gonna take him back to my apartment for a little bit and do some photography with him and my Death-for-Real Mechagodzilla 74, because I've wanted to put these guys side by side for ages, because they both sort of have like karate type poses, and I think they're gonna look really cool together. So back here, not Godzilla related, I'm a huge Phantom of the Opera fan, particularly like the musical, the Andrew Lloyd Webber musical. I grew up watching it, and I've seen it live a couple of times actually on Broadway. I'm lucky enough to do that. So this is actually back from when I went to 5 Point Festival in Brooklyn, New York, back in I think June. I got this from a really cool guy. He's on Instagram. His name is Eddie in the City. He does these rubber Keshi type toys. This is actually a red rubber, but I spray painted it gray and had the intention of painting it, but as with many of my projects, I start, but I don't really finish exactly fast, so it's kind of not taken priority recently. I've been busy. Also comes with this little cool monkey, symbol monkey. Those of you who are familiar with Phantom of the Opera know what this is. Sorry for the camera quality. It's kind of small and it's hard to focus on. Yeah. Finally got it to focus. It's really good detail for something so small. This is like less than an inch tall. Cool little accessory piece to go along with Phantom and Christine. You know what's funny? I never wound up doing a haul video for my stuff that I got from 5 Points Festival, but I actually was lucky enough to meet the president of Marusan, Eiji Kaminaga, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. I apologize if I'm not, but long story short, he's a huge Phantom of the Opera fan as well. Just a funny coincidence. And I told him about this figure that I got from this vendor. And I wound up walking with him to the vendor. I don't know if he wound up buying this figure, but he was really cool to me. It was just kind of surreal because I have a few Marusan figures. My first Sofubi toy ever was from Marusan. The Godzilla, what is this, 68, I think it is? Yeah, I got this guy back in 2020 when I finally decided to pull the trigger on Sofubi toys, and obviously I haven't looked back since. I mean, this isn't even everything I have. I think the majority of my Sofubi toys are at the apartment, but meeting him was really cool. I told him that my first figure was a Marusan, was this figure. Unfortunately, at the time, he wasn't selling any Godzillas at that festival. They weren't licensed to do so, but I did get a really cool Giant Gorilla 450 series figure. It's technically not King Kong, but kind of resembles King Kong. Oh yeah, actually, also this too was this guy right here. As you can see, it's an identical mold to this. This is one of the first things I ever painted with my airbrush gun last year. This is from the artist Klav, K-L-A-V. I also got to meet him at Five Points Festival, and he was selling newer versions of his Sofubi tank, so I wanted to get something from him, so I got this one. This is a pink and neon green marbled vinyl Sofubi tank, and it glows in the dark. It's really cool. It's really bright. When he showed me it, he put it under like a certain light, and this thing goes full on green. It's really cool, and I just like this sculpt a lot. I think his work is really unique. He has some other stuff as well that I think is really cool. But yeah, so these two things here are actually from Five Points Festival as well. Let's see. Not Godzilla again, but this is Ash from Evil Dead 2. This is from Sideshow Collectibles. Actually, no, I bought it through Sideshow Collectibles. This is actually from Asmus Toys. That's the company. And I think this is a really cool figure. This is a stock standard figure. This is a deluxe version that I didn't get. I've had some Ashes throughout my life, but at this point I don't have any more. And then when this went up for pre-order a long time ago, I knew I needed to get this guy because one of my favorite looks of Ash is the chainsaw hand version. I mean, you can't really get a great look at it right now. It doesn't even look like there's a saw there, but this is an amazing piece. I've seen people further customize theirs a little bit, tinker with it a bit to improve the sculpt. It's a good sculpt, but this one lacks. It's very baby face looking. But I've seen people paint it up a little bit to dirty it and add some 5 o'clock shadow. It makes a big difference. But as you can see, these were here the last time as well. These Michael Myers have been a staple of this display for a while. This Joker, I don't know if he was in the last video. I put him back out, DX01 Joker, but with a bank robber head sculpt. Just like that head sculpt a lot. But these guys here with Ash, fitting right in with the approaching fall and Halloween. Looking really forward to Halloween Ends. Can't wait for that movie to come out. Hopefully get to see that in theaters. If not, I know it's coming out on Peacock as well. Huge Michael Myers fan, so can't wait to see the end of that saga. Nothing else new here. These mechas. Death for Real, little Mothra keychain. Most of this stuff I believe was here from the last time I did my video. Definitely going to be a lot of work putting these guys back in their boxes and storing them away for when the gigantic Shin eventually comes. Of course, Easy Hobby has a gigantic Shin now that honestly I think I like more than the X Plus gigantic Shin. We'll see what winds up happening. I really don't want to have 2 gigantic Shins in my collection, but I'm not going to jump on anything preemptively. But regardless, I'm excited to get a gigantic Shin, especially from X Plus, just because that's such an elusive piece. Let's take a look at that Sakai again. Every time I come back here and look at this display, I'm always enamored by this figure. It's so cool. Just love it. And then any other new stuff, there's a bunch of stuff from Super 7. Honestly, I didn't pre-order too much from them. Originally, I wanted to, but we'll wind up seeing what happens. Of course, I like what they're doing. Even if I don't get their stuff, I still like what they're doing. Particularly their retro Shogun figures have now entered the Ultimates line, so I think that's really cool. Makes that sculpt very accessible in various scales, which is awesome. Love this guy. Let's put him next to Jet Jaguar. Just for a second. Oops. There we go. These guys look cool. I like the way they scale together. I know they're not from the same movie, but let's move it this way because the light, I'm using natural light right now, so yeah, much better. Yeah, they look cool together. I can't wait to get my hands on the 70, is it 73 or 74 sculpt that they're coming out with? 73. I think this whole lineup, because I have Gigan, I'm getting all 4. Him, Gigan, Godzilla, and Megalon. So looking really forward to having all 4. The only other set from a movie I think that I have that's complete is King of the Monsters. And even then, I think they're not even here anymore. This used to be all DEFA reels. And then I wanted a more clean display with the Sofubi toys. Oh, it's out of focus. There we go. And, you know, it's always evolving, so we'll see. Kind of like Shin Godzilla, always evolving. Banpresto looks so good. Look at that tail. Best tail on a Shin Godzilla I think that I've seen. Or one of the best, I'll say. Speaking of which, Monster Arts, my only one that I own, but the Mecha King Ghidorah, that's a cool release. I don't collect that line, but I have pre-ordered that Mecha King Ghidorah. We'll see if I stick with the pre-order. Just when there was like sort of a drought with figure news, there's been so much that's dropped recently for pre-order, for whether that's X Plus or Art Spirits, Monster Arts, Spiral Studios, and just no shortage ever. Just when you think that there's like a pause on things, then there's just a million more that come out. There's a lot of cool stuff. That Spiral Studios gigantic GMK Godzilla, wow, I mean, that looks impressive, you know. But yeah, I guess that's really it for this video. It's kind of the things that I have up for pre-order. There's more stuff, non-Godzilla stuff. Maybe it'll wind up making its way into these videos. But like I said, just wanted to do a little bit of an update, more intimate type video, less scripted and more candid and casual. Giving you some looks at the non-Godzilla stuff that I collect. Love this Doom stuff. I actually just got, alongside the Jet Jaguar, I got the Doom Hunter. It's actually right here. I haven't even taken it out of the box. There's nowhere to put it. Yeah, I'm kind of crazy, I guess, when it comes to collecting, but you know, it is what it is. But you know, maybe eventually I might clear out this DVD selection, Blu-ray selection, just because I rarely use these. And it looks cool, but it could be more room for stuff if I really wanted to. You know, honestly, maybe some of this stuff can make its way over there when the gigantic Shin takes this place. And this isn't even my full collection. This is just what's currently on display. Those of you who are familiar with the channel know that, but for those of you who are new, this is not everything that I have. If we're talking everything, including non-Godzilla stuff, maybe I have like close to 200 things. And I have stuff in my apartment too. So quite a few things. Definitely I've shifted more toward the stylized stuff, the Sofubi toys, the chibis, the DEFA reels, that kind of stuff I definitely prefer now as opposed to bigger, more realistic figures. I still love them, but there's not that much that, you know, appeals to me as much as stylized stuff does. There's some stuff from Bandai. They've been doing Sofubi toys. I really want to try to get my hands on those. Hopefully I can sometime in the future. All right, I'm going to end it here. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing and have a good one.